Far beyond the edges of human-controlled space, a small colony glimmered like a fragile star in the darkness. The planet, named Veralia 7, had once been a thriving hub of research and trade. But now its towers were silent, its skies filled with smoke, and its people lived in fear. From the shadows, an alien armada had arrived, crushing defenses and enslaving the colonists. Their technology was advanced, but they did not anticipate one thing: the determination of humanity. Inside a dimly lit communications room, Commander Lyra Vey, the colony's lead coordinator, tapped the last sequence on the transmitter. Her hands shook, but her voice remained steady as she whispered into the console. "This is Veralia 7 emergency. We are under attack. We need immediate assistance. Anyone who can hear this, please respond." The message was almost lost in the vast reaches of space. Signals bounced across multiple star systems, fading and breaking apart. But in the Earth Command Center, billions of kilometers away, a sharp tone alerted the monitoring teams. Analysts scrambled, decoding the garbled transmission. "Commander, are you seeing this?" asked Lieutenant Harris, his eyes fixed on the flickering screen. "Yes," replied Commander Zhao, her brow furrowed. "It's weak, but it's definitely human-recognizable distress. Initiate analysis immediately. Trace the source." The technicians worked quickly. Within minutes, the signal's origin was located. The entire command center fell silent. Veralia 7, a minor colony barely acknowledged in galactic records, was under attack, but the message carried urgency that could not be ignored. "It's a trap," one analyst muttered, skepticism in his voice. "Why would an enemy risk broadcasting a call directly into human systems?" "It could be bait." Commander Zhao shook her head. "We don't leave our people to die. Even if it is bait, our responsibility is clear. Prepare the fleet." By the time the human fleets reached the staging area, the colony's plight had already begun to spread through the network. Alien civilizations nearby monitored the same signal, but none reacted with the speed or precision humans were known for. They assumed humans were complacent, slow, and easily intimidated. They were about to learn differently. In orbit around Earth, Admiral Kell stood before the main viewing screen, gazing at the assembled ships. The fleet was smaller than some of the alien armadas humanity had faced, but every ship carried the latest weapons, advanced shielding, and crews trained for survival in the most extreme conditions. "Every system is ready," reported the fleet captain, his voice steady but tense. "We can launch on your order." Admiral Kell nodded. "Good. Remember, we are not just going to fight. We are going to save lives. That is our priority. Engage carefully, but do not hesitate to strike if necessary. Humanity does not negotiate with cowardice." The orders were clear. The fleet moved with quiet precision, leaving Earth behind and diving into the deep black of interstellar space. Even through the vast emptiness, the human ships moved as one, silent, determined, unstoppable. Meanwhile, on Veralia 7, Commander Lyra Vey and the surviving colonists worked tirelessly to defend what little remained. Alien drones swept through the city, tearing apart buildings and capturing anyone in their path. Smoke filled the streets, making the air thick and hard to breathe. Yet the colonists refused to surrender. "Hold your positions," Lyra shouted over the crackling radio. "If we can just survive until help arrives." Her voice faltered, but she pushed forward, knowing every second mattered. A young engineer, Talon, ran past her carrying a makeshift energy shield. "Commander, they've breached the northern sector. We can't hold them alone." Lyra's eyes hardened. "We will hold them. We must. The humans, they will come." In the darkness between the stars, the human fleet approached the system at an astonishing speed. Pilots adjusted their ships, scanning every sector for threats. Sensors detected faint traces of the alien armada, massive vessels that dwarfed most human warships in size, but not in coordination or resolve. "Admiral," said a tactical officer, "they are attempting to block our path. Multiple formations, 3 separate fleets converging on the colony." Admiral Kell's gaze was calm, almost serene. "Let them try. They underestimate us. They always do." The first skirmishes began at the edge of the system. Alien scouts detected the incoming fleet and launched rapid attacks. Yet humans responded with precision unmatched in previous encounters. Smaller squadrons darted through asteroid belts, dodging energy blasts and returning fire with pinpoint accuracy. On Veralia 7, the colonists noticed the first signs of hope. A streak of light appeared in the sky, a signal of the approaching human ships. Lyra's heart lifted, but she reminded herself to stay vigilant. "It's not over yet," she said. "Survive. That is all we need for now." One human pilot, Lieutenant Arik Sloan, maneuvered his fighter through the chaos, weaving between enemy drones. He targeted the alien command vessels, using advanced cloaking devices and modified weaponry to disable their shields. "Keep pushing," he shouted to his squad. "For the colony!" Meanwhile, the alien commanders watched in disbelief. "These humans," one muttered, "they should have fallen long ago. Why are they so relentless? So coordinated?" "They fight like predators," another replied. "We've underestimated them. A mistake we will pay for." Back on Viralia 7, Lyra led the colonists in small defensive strikes, sabotaging enemy equipment wherever possible. Children and elders were moved to hidden bunkers, while capable fighters held barricades. The alien forces were strong, but the colonists' will to survive mirrored the resolve of the approaching human fleet. From the distant command bridge, Admiral Kell observed both the colony and the enemy positions. "Focus our main strike on the larger cruisers," he ordered. "Protect the colony at all costs. This is humanity's mission, and we will not fail." The first wave of humans reached the orbit of Viralia 7. Energy beams lanced through space, tearing apart alien ships before they could reach the planet's surface. Small human fighters darted among debris, rescuing colonists trapped in orbiting escape pods. Lyra watched from the planet below, tears in her eyes, as ships descended to engage the enemy. The humans fought not just with weapons, but with strategy, courage, and teamwork that seemed almost impossible to the aliens. Every strike was measured, every maneuver calculated to protect lives. One colonist, Ellen, whispered, "They are amazing. They came for us." Lyra nodded, her eyes fixed on the battle above. "Yes, humanity does not ignore a call for help. We are not alone anymore." As the first part of the battle reached its climax, the alien forces began to falter. Their confidence wavered, shaken by humans who fought with intelligence and heart rather than sheer numbers. The skies above Viralia 7 were still dangerous, but hope had returned to the planet for the first time in weeks. In the command center of the human fleet, Admiral Kell allowed himself a small smile. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The galaxy has underestimated humans for too long. Let them see what happens when we answer a call for help." And far away in the darkness of space, the faint echoes of a distress call carried a simple truth. Humanity would not be ignored. The wrath of those who fight for justice was awakening, and the galaxy would never be the same. The battle above Viralia 7 had begun in earnest. Human ships sliced through the black void, moving with precision, almost like a single living organism. Energy beams tore through the alien armada, and explosions lit up the darkness like deadly fireworks. The aliens had expected an easy conquest, but humanity's arrival changed everything. On the bridge of the human flagship, Valor, Admiral Kell stood tall, observing the battlefield. Around him, the bridge crew worked in unison, monitoring enemy positions, tracking colonist escape pods, and coordinating the fleet's maneuvers. "Admiral," said Lieutenant Arik Sloan, his voice calm but excited, "we've confirmed multiple alien command cruisers. They're trying to regroup behind the outer asteroid belt. Should we strike now?" Kell's eyes narrowed. "Not yet. Draw them out. Let them overextend. We fight smart, not just hard." Human pilots darted through asteroid fields, using the natural debris as cover. The aliens were powerful, but they lacked the subtle creativity humans had perfected over centuries. Every move, every attack, was met with a countermeasure that seemed impossible to predict. One squadron, led by Captain Rena Voss, targeted an alien destroyer that had been firing on colonist escape pods. She navigated her fighter through a maze of asteroids, dodging energy blasts with skill and instinct. "Brace for impact," she shouted, twisting her ship sharply. Her team followed in perfect synchronization. They launched micromissiles that disabled the destroyer's engines, sending it spinning harmlessly into space debris. Below, on Viralia 7, the colonists watched in awe. From the observation towers, children and adults alike pointed to the sky as human ships tore through the enemy formation. Lyra felt a surge of hope. "They're here," she whispered. "They've come for us." In the alien command fleet, panic was spreading. "How are they doing this?" one alien officer growled. "Our weapons are superior. Our numbers are greater. Yet these humans, these puny creatures, they move with purpose, with intelligence. Another alien commander scowled. They are unpredictable. They fight like predators. Stop them before they reach the planet! But humanity had already anticipated their moves. Small squadrons of fighters used diversion tactics, leading the alien cruisers into zones where larger human warships waited. Shields flared as volleys of energy met alien armor, and slowly but surely the balance began to shift. Lieutenant Sloan maneuvered his fighter toward a cluster of alien frigates attempting to flank the colony. His ship's thrusters hissed as he dodged incoming fire. All units, follow me, he called. We hit them fast and precise. Protect the pods at all costs. Explosions rippled through the cluster. Alien ships faltered, their formations breaking under human precision. Every successful strike was a combination of careful planning, intuition, and split-second decisions. On Virelia 7, Talon the engineer worked with the colonists to coordinate communications with the orbiting human fleet. Using salvage transmitters, they sent the locations of trapped civilians in dangerous zones. The humans responded immediately, altering flight paths to avoid debris and enemy fire while targeting threats with ruthless efficiency. Commander, Talon said, wiping sweat from his forehead, they're saving lives. Not just fighting. Lyra smiled through her exhaustion. That is humanity. They fight to protect, not just destroy. Back in orbit, Captain Rena Voss's squadron faced a critical moment. An alien frigate broke through the defensive perimeter and headed straight for a cluster of colonist pods. The pods were small, fragile, and unarmed. If they were destroyed, hundreds of lives would be lost. Engage! Rena ordered. Her squadron raced toward the threat, weaving through incoming fire. With perfect timing, they fired concentrated energy bursts, disabling the frigate's engines. It drifted harmlessly, unable to reach the pods. Pods secured, Rena reported. No casualties. The aliens, growing desperate, began to pull their forces back, attempting to regroup near the outer sectors of the system. They underestimated the humans again, assuming the fleet would be satisfied with protecting the colony. But humans had another plan. Admiral Kell issued new orders. Prepare for a precise strike. Target their command cruisers. Break their control before they can retreat. Keep the colony safe. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sloan received an urgent signal. One alien vessel had picked up human transmissions and began targeting their base stations orbiting Virelia 7. The vessel was fast and heavily armored. Rena, we have a fast mover approaching the pods. We need backup. Rena's squadron spun into action. Together, they engaged the alien ship, combining dogfighting maneuvers with energy volleys. The battle was tense, but humans proved adaptable. Using clever tactics, they disabled the alien ship without losing a single pod. Below on the planet, Lyra could hardly believe her eyes. Small teams of humans were rescuing civilians from rooftops, floating in the low-gravity zones created by the alien attacks. Every success was a miracle, a reminder that help had arrived when hope seemed lost. In the alien command bridge, fear began to replace arrogance. These humans, they are not like any force we have encountered. Stop them. We cannot allow them to reach the colony. Yet every attempt to stop them failed. Human intelligence and creativity turned alien technology against its users. Ships that had once been nearly unstoppable were disabled by ingenious tactics. Energy grids were hacked mid-battle. Drones were reprogrammed, and human pilots used every advantage the battlefield offered. Admiral Kell observed the alien panic with quiet satisfaction. They cannot understand us. They fight with instinct, strategy, and courage combined. That is the difference. That is humanity. Meanwhile, Talon and a group of colonists had begun to prepare a risky plan. Using the debris from destroyed alien drones, they built temporary defenses on the planet's surface. It was dangerous, but with human forces above, they had a chance to support the fleet and protect the remaining population. Commander, they're coming down, Talon shouted as an alien shuttle approached the colony. Then we meet them, Lyra said firmly. We survive. That is all that matters. As night fell over Virelia 7, the sky was filled with flashes of light and fire. The sounds of battle echoed through the atmosphere, though faintly. From orbit, human ships moved like ghosts, striking with precision and disappearing before retaliation. On the ground, the colonists took heart from the humans above. Every successful rescue, every disabled enemy vessel, was proof that they were not alone. In a quiet moment aboard the Valor, Admiral Kell addressed the fleet. Remember this, he said. We fight not for glory, not for conquest, but for those who cannot protect themselves. Humanity answers calls for help that others ignore. That is who we are. That is our strength. The crew absorbed his words, their determination renewed. They would not fail. The aliens would learn that humans were not just another species. They were a force to be reckoned with. Clever, brave, and relentless, and on Veralia 7, Lyra looked up at the sky and whispered a prayer of thanks. She did not know each of the humans by name, nor would she likely ever meet them all, but their courage and skill had already saved countless lives. For the first time in weeks, she allowed herself a flicker of hope. Somewhere in the darkness, the alien commanders reconsidered their arrogance. These humans, they realized, fought differently. They were unpredictable, resourceful, and relentless. They did not fear the void, and they did not falter in the face of superior numbers. The first contact had ended, but the battle was far from over. Humans had shown their fury, their skill, and their heart. The alien armada had underestimated them, and that mistake would have consequences. The galaxy had glimpsed what humanity could do when roused to defend life, and it was only the beginning. Above Veralia 7, the first rays of dawn began to pierce the smoke. The colony was battered but alive. Human ships continued their orbital patrols, ready to strike again if necessary. Hope was no longer a fragile concept. It had become a living, breathing reality. Admiral Kell's voice echoed across the communications net. Prepare for the next phase. We strike smart, precise, and fast. The galaxy will learn that humanity does not hesitate when justice calls. And far below, Lyra and her people looked up at the sky, knowing that help had arrived, and that the fury of humanity would not rest until the colony was safe, and those who dared attack it paid the price. The war had begun, but humanity had already made its mark. The alien fleet had retreated to the outer sectors of Veralia 7's system, but the humans were not about to let them regroup. Admiral Kell studied the holographic map on the bridge of the Valor, tracing the enemy formations as they twisted around asteroid fields and gas clouds. They're trying to lure us into traps, he said calmly, though his voice carried steel. Expect mines, ambushes, and hidden squads. We will proceed carefully, but we will not hesitate to strike. Lieutenant Sloane's fingers danced over his console. Admiral, sensors show multiple stealth vessels hiding among the asteroid belts. They're fast, small, and dangerous. If we aren't careful, they could take out our squadrons before we even see them. Kell nodded. Then we will use our advantage. Smaller squads move first. Scout and probe. Identify every threat. Human ingenuity will light the way. Human pilots split into groups gliding silently through asteroid fields. Sensors flickered as alien mines and cloaked ships tried to ambush them. But humans had prepared. Micro-drones flew ahead, scanning for traps, while fighter pilots used unpredictable maneuvers to avoid detection. Captain Rena Voss led one such squadron. She eyed the field ahead, her fighter weaving through the dark rocks like a predator stalking prey. Stay sharp, she said over comms. They expect us to panic. They expect us to follow predictable paths. We won't. Eyes open, weapons ready. Her squadron detected the first ambush. 3 cloaked alien ships moving at impossible speed toward the human formation. Without hesitation, Rena initiated a feint, splitting her squadron into 3 separate vectors. The alien ships, expecting the humans to stay in formation, fired prematurely. Their energy beams missed their targets entirely, striking empty space.
Using this opening, Rena's squadron unleashed micro-missiles, disabling 2 ships before they could escape. 2 down, Rena reported.
1 to go. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sloane engaged the last ship. Using a combination of evasive maneuvers and decoy flares, he drew the vessel into a narrow asteroid canyon. Their hidden mines laid by human engineers detonated, destroying the alien ship instantly. Nicely done, Admiral Kell said over the comms. This is exactly the kind of strategy I want. 1 step ahead at all times. Below on Veralia 7, the colonists worked feverishly. Talon and other engineers had built temporary defensive platforms from salvaged alien drones and local materials. Though the planet was battered, these structures offered protection against smaller enemy dropships attempting to land troops. Commander, Talon said, we can't hold much longer if they keep coming. But if the humans break their fleet, we might finally get a chance to reclaim the surface. Lyra Vey nodded. Then we survive. That is all we can do. Every second we hold, every person we protect matters. The human fleet pressed forward, carefully scanning for hidden ambushes. Sensors detected something unusual. Faint energy signatures moving in patterns too regular for natural formations. "Admiral, we've got signs of coordinated ambushes," said Lieutenant Harris. "They've set traps along all major pathways in the sector." Kell studied the data. "Good. That means they fear us. That means they recognize the threat we pose. Let them set traps. We will turn them into opportunities." In the asteroid field, Captain Voss's squadron encountered a massive energy minefield. The mines were invisible until they activated, and alien scouts patrolled every edge. "Steady," Voss said. "We've trained for this. Follow my path exactly. One false move and we're done." The squadron moved like dancers in zero gravity, weaving between mines with precision. Microdrones detonated a few harmlessly, sending shockwaves that blinded alien scouts, giving the human fighters room to maneuver. Every move was coordinated, instinctive, and perfectly timed. "Everyone clear," Voss reported as the last fighter exited the minefield. "Excellent work," Kell said. "They underestimated human patience and coordination. Let's continue. Keep your minds sharp. The main forces are ahead." Deep in the outer sectors, the alien commanders watched their traps fail one after another. Panic replaced arrogance. "These humans," one hissed. "They are not what we expected. How can they move so predictably unpredictable?" "They think in ways we cannot," another replied. "We must regroup and strike fast. If we allow them to reach the colony, all is lost." But humans were already moving to the next phase. They had identified the alien command ships and were preparing a surgical strike. Every small success, every ambush avoided, every mine destroyed, had brought them closer to the heart of the enemy fleet. Lieutenant Sloan's fighter squadron detected a small alien transport carrying reinforcements toward the planet's surface. The vessel was fast, lightly armored, and heavily armed. "Rena, we have a fast mover heading toward the colony," Sloan shouted. "On it," Voss replied. Her squadron engaged immediately, using high-speed maneuvers and energy bursts to disable the vessel before it could reach the surface. The ship exploded in a controlled blast, debris scattering harmlessly away from the colony below. On Viralia 7, Lyra and the colonists cheered at the small victories. Every alien attack repelled, every ship destroyed, gave them hope that survival was possible. The alien fleet, realizing their traps were failing, launched a desperate counteroffensive. Multiple cruisers converged on the human formation, hoping to overwhelm them with sheer numbers. Admiral Kell remained calm. "They are predictable when desperate. Form defensive grids, force them into kill zones, protect each other and the colony. Now we strike." Humans combined their strategic advantage with technical ingenuity. Fighters disrupted alien communications mid-battle, using reprogrammed drones to attack the enemy from unexpected angles. Capital ships deployed decoy holograms, drawing fire away from more vulnerable ships. Captain Voss led a daring maneuver, diving her squadron between two massive alien cruisers. They targeted critical energy conduits, causing explosions that disabled shields and weapons. Sloan's squadron followed, targeting the remaining cruisers' engines. The aliens had never faced such coordination. Their formations broke, their morale faltered, and their attacks became disorganized. Below, Lyra watched as the alien fleet faltered. "They are weakening. They are losing control," she whispered. The human fleet did not relent. Every destroyed ship, every disabled cruiser brought them closer to the alien command center. They fought not for glory, but to protect the colony. That purpose made them unstoppable. Finally, Admiral Kell issued the decisive order: "Prepare for the main strike. The enemy command ships are vulnerable. Focus all firepower. We end this now." Explosions erupted across the enemy fleet. Energy beams lanced through space, tearing apart cruisers and destroying command nodes. Human pilots moved with precision, coordinating attacks that the aliens could not anticipate. One by one, the alien ships fell, scattered or fled. On Viralia 7, the colonists could finally breathe. The skies were still dangerous, but the immediate threat had passed. Children emerged from hiding and families reunited in the temporary shelters. Talon turned to Lyra, eyes wide. "They did it. The humans are incredible. We might survive after all." Lyra smiled, exhaustion and relief mingling. "This is only the beginning. But humanity has shown us their power and their courage. They will not leave us to die." In the remnants of the alien command fleet, officers argued and panicked. "They are too strong. Too clever," one said. "We cannot beat them with numbers alone. We underestimated humans, and it will cost us." Far above the battlefield, Admiral Kell observed the chaos. "They will learn," he said quietly. "Humanity does not falter when lives are at stake. This is only a taste of what we can do when the galaxy threatens the helpless." As the night settled over Virelia 7, the human fleet maintained position, ready for any lingering threats. The colonists had survived, their faith in humanity renewed, and the alien armada had learned a vital lesson. Humans fight with intelligence, courage, and an unbreakable will. The war was far from over. The alien forces would regroup, plan new attacks, and attempt to regain control. But humanity had already proven a truth that echoed across the stars. When humans respond to a call for help, they bring not just firepower but ingenuity, courage, and an unstoppable force of justice. And far in the void, the faint remnants of alien dread carried a simple message. Humanity could not be underestimated, and Virelia 7 was only the beginning. The alien fleet, battered and disorganized from the traps and ambushes, tried to retreat to the far edge of the system. But humanity was not finished. Every ship in the human fleet moved like a single entity, guided by strategy, courage, and determination. Admiral Kell stood on the bridge of the Valor, his gaze fixed on the holographic display showing the scattered alien forces. "They think they can flee. They are wrong. Humans do not allow the helpless to suffer. Prepare the counteroffensive. Strike fast, strike smart, and strike together." Lieutenant Sloan and Captain Rena Voss were already in their fighters, racing through asteroid fields and debris with a mix of skill and instinct. "All units focus fire on their command cruisers," Kell instructed over comms. "Disable their leadership. Without them, the rest will fall." The human fleet moved like a predator, encircling the alien command vessels. Drones and reconnaissance units tracked every move, mapping weak points in real time. Humans were not just powerful, they were adaptable, combining intellect with action in ways the aliens could not predict. On Virelia 7, Lyra Vey watched the battle unfold from the command tower. Her eyes were wide with awe as human fighters struck with unerring precision. Every successful strike protected colonist escape pods. Every destroyed cruiser eased the pressure on the planet's surface. "They are incredible," Talon whispered beside her. "I never imagined humans could fight like this." "They are not just fighting," Lyra said softly. "They are protecting. That is their true strength." In space, the aliens panicked. Their command cruisers were being disabled one by one, their fleets faltering without orders. They tried to regroup, launching desperate attacks, but humans had anticipated these moves. Energy volleys intercepted the alien formations, cutting them down before they could strike effectively. Lieutenant Sloan's squadron targeted a key cruiser attempting to flee toward the outer system. Using a combination of high-speed maneuvers and precise energy bursts, they disabled the cruiser's engines and weapons, leaving it drifting helplessly in space. "Cruiser neutralized," Sloan reported. "No casualties on our side." Captain Voss's squadron engaged a group of smaller assault vessels attempting to flank the human formation. They used diversion tactics, drawing the enemy into traps set by human drones. Explosions erupted across the sector, disabling multiple ships at once. The aliens had never faced such coordination. They were strong individually, but against humans, strength was meaningless without strategy. Each human squadron complemented the others, covering weaknesses, exploiting openings, and protecting the vulnerable. Admiral Kell smiled slightly as he observed the chaos among the alien fleet. "They cannot understand us," he said quietly. "They fight with skill, intuition, and courage. That combination is unstoppable." Meanwhile, on the planet, Lyra Vey and her engineers continued reinforcing defenses. Using salvaged alien drones and human guidance, they set up temporary shield generators and energy barriers to protect the remaining population. Every defensive measure was coordinated with the orbital fleet, ensuring maximum protection. "Talon, keep monitoring the energy flows," Lyra instructed. "The humans above will depend on our support." "Yes, Commander," Talon replied, adjusting the interface. "We're ready for anything." In space, humans executed a daring maneuver. 2 squadrons approached the main alien command cruiser from different angles, while drones created holographic decoys to confuse enemy sensors. The cruiser's weapons fired blindly at shadows, missing every target. Lieutenant Sloan led the first strike, weaving through enemy fire with precision. Micro-missiles struck the cruiser's engines, causing a chain reaction that crippled its movement. At the same time, Captain Voss's squadron targeted the cruiser's weapon systems, rendering them useless. The alien command officers were frantic. "We cannot stop them. They are too clever. Their attacks are coordinated. Unstoppable. They fight like predators," another hissed. "This is not war as we know it. This is something else." The humans pressed their advantage. Fighter squadrons took control of the surrounding asteroid fields, using them as cover while capital ships unleashed volleys of energy at the enemy. Each strike was calculated, precise, and devastating. On the planet below, the colonists watched as the alien command fleet faltered. Hope surged among them. Children peeked from hiding places and families clutched each other in relief. Every victory above meant survival below. Admiral Kell issued the next command. "Prepare for the final strike on the remaining cruisers. Synchronize all squadrons. Use every weapon, every tactic. Humanity does not retreat, and we do not fail." Human pilots responded instantly, moving with flawless coordination. Energy beams, missiles, and drones struck simultaneously from multiple directions. The alien cruisers were unable to respond effectively. Their shields collapsed and explosions tore through their hulls. Lieutenant Sloan engaged the last command cruiser in a personal maneuver. Using his fighter's speed and agility, he navigated through debris and enemy fire to deliver a precise strike at the cruiser's power core. A massive explosion followed, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. "Command cruiser destroyed," Sloan reported, breathing heavily. "All remaining enemy units are disorganized." Captain Voss surveyed the battlefield. "They're retreating. The remaining fleet is scattering. Humanity has taken control." Admiral Kell nodded. "Good, but remain alert. There may be isolated pockets of resistance. Sweep the system. Protect the colony. Humanity's mission is not just to fight, it is to save lives." On Virelia 7, Lyra Vey stepped onto a balcony overlooking the city. Smoke still rose from damaged buildings, but humans continued to patrol the skies, ensuring no alien forces reached the surface. "They are truly remarkable," Lyra said softly to Talon. "We owe our lives to them." Talon nodded. "Not just our lives. They've shown the galaxy what humanity can do when justice calls. They fight not for conquest but for protection." Above, human drones continued scanning for hidden threats. Engineers and pilots worked together seamlessly, ensuring no alien ship could regroup unnoticed. Every measure was taken to secure the colony and prevent further attacks. Admiral Kell observed the final stages of the battle with quiet satisfaction. "They thought we would hesitate. They thought we would falter. But humans do not abandon the helpless. That is our strength. That is our legacy." The alien forces retreated into the far reaches of the system, broken and demoralized. Their arrogance had led to their defeat. Humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and teamwork could overcome even the most advanced technology. On Virelia 7, Lyra allowed herself a small smile. The battle was not entirely over, but for the first time in weeks, hope had returned. Colonists emerged from shelters, helping each other rebuild what had been destroyed. "Talon," Lyra said, "we survived. Humanity gave us that chance. We must honor it." "Yes, Commander," Talon replied. "We will rebuild, and the story of this day, it will be remembered." In the void of space, Admiral Kell gave one final order. "Prepare for cleanup operations. Sweep for any remaining threats. Ensure the colony is safe. Humanity has shown its power, but our work is not done. This is only the beginning." Lieutenant Sloan and Captain Voss exchanged glances over the comms. "It's incredible," Voss said. "We fought hard, but it feels like we've only begun to show what humans can do." Sloan nodded. "The galaxy will remember this day, and anyone who dares threaten the helpless will know what happens when humanity answers a call for help." The stars above Virelia 7 shone brightly, reflecting the fires of battle and the promise of survival. The colony had endured, the aliens had been defeated, and humanity had proven once again that when called to protect, they were unstoppable. Admiral Kell's voice carried over the fleet one final time. "Remember this. Humans fight not for glory, not for conquest, but for life. We do not yield. We do not falter. And when justice calls, humanity's wrath is swift, precise, and absolute." On Virelia 7, Lyra Vey watched the humans above and whispered, "Thank you for not leaving us to die." The battle was over, but the galaxy had been changed forever. Humanity had struck back not with reckless aggression, but with intelligence, courage, and an unshakable will. The aliens had learned a lesson they would never forget. When humans fight for justice, nothing can stand in their way. And far into the void, whispers began to spread. Tales of the human fleet's precision, courage, and unwavering determination traveled from system to system. The galaxy would remember the day humanity struck back, not for conquest, but for protection. The war was far from finished. More challenges awaited, more enemies would rise, but humanity had shown its strength. They were clever, brave, and relentless, and when a call for help echoed across the stars, humanity would answer, leaving no doubt in any mind they were unstoppable. Part 5. The Wrath Unleashed. The remnants of the alien fleet scattered into the void, but Admiral Kell knew the battle was not yet fully won. Broken ships and fleeing forces could regroup if humanity did not act decisively. From the bridge of the Valor, he surveyed the battlefield, calm and confident. "Prepare the final strike," Kell commanded. "This ends now. We will secure the colony, neutralize all remaining threats, and send a clear message to the galaxy. Humanity answers every call for help." Lieutenant Sloan's squadron readied their fighters. Captain Rena Voss led a separate team, weaving through asteroid belts to cover flanks. Every pilot knew their role, every movement timed perfectly. They were not just fighting, they were delivering justice, protecting lives, and demonstrating the unyielding strength of humanity. On Viralia 7, Lyra Vey and the colonists worked alongside engineers like Talon to reinforce shelters and repair damaged infrastructure. Despite the chaos, hope had returned to the planet. The presence of humans above gave them courage and determination they had not felt in weeks. "They will finish this," Lyra whispered to Talon, her eyes on the sky. "I can feel it. Humanity will not leave us to struggle any longer." Talon nodded. "Yes, Commander. And we will survive because of them." In space, human capital ships advanced toward the alien command center. This was the heart of the Armada, the nerve center controlling the remaining fleet. Its destruction would break the enemy's organization and morale completely. "Enemy command hub detected," Sloan reported over comms. "They're attempting to shield it, but we found a weak point on the lower hull." "Perfect," Admiral Kell replied. "Strike there. All squadrons coordinate. We take it out in one synchronized attack. Precision over brute force." Fighter squads moved into position. Micromissiles, energy pulses, and drones all prepared to engage simultaneously. The alien hub's shields flickered under human observation, strained by earlier attacks. On the colony, Lyra Vey watched the sky, her heart racing. She could see the faint glow of human ships moving into formation. Every vessel had a purpose, every maneuver calculated. It was unlike any battle she had witnessed. Humans were not reckless. They were strategic, efficient, and unstoppable. "Commander," Talon said, pointing to the sensors. "They are synchronizing their strike. The hub will not withstand this." The attack began. Fighters dived from multiple angles, distracting the hub's defenses. Drones bypassed shields, sabotaging energy systems. Capital ships fired coordinated volleys at the weak point, and within moments the alien command center shuddered under the impact. "Hull breach confirmed," Sloan reported. "Energy core destabilizing. Target secured," Voss added. "All remaining enemy ships are disorganized. They can't fight effectively." Explosions erupted in the alien command hub. Its systems failed, weapons went offline, and the few surviving ships attempted to retreat but were met by the human fleet. Every vessel was either destroyed or forced into surrender. The alien armada was defeated. Below on Viralia 7, the colonists cheered. Tears ran down faces hardened by fear and despair. Children laughed for the first time in weeks, and families embraced, finally free from the shadow of alien domination. Lyra turned to Talon. "We survived. Thanks to them. Humanity did this. They saved us." "Yes," Talon said, his voice full of awe. "They are incredible. Not just in strength, but in heart. They fight to protect, not to destroy." Admiral Kell observed the aftermath from orbit. The galaxy had seen the fury of humanity, but more importantly, they had seen their intelligence, courage, and determination. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. "Sweep the system," Kell commanded. "Ensure no threats remain. Secure the colony. Humanity answers every call for help, and no one will suffer while we can intervene." Lieutenant Sloan's squadron patrolled the sectors around the planet. Small alien remnants attempted to hide or flee, but humans anticipated every move. Energy nets captured ships trying to escape, and drones ensured no vessel could regroup. Captain Voss coordinated with orbital engineers to create a safe corridor for colonist rescue and evacuation. The combination of tactical brilliance and humanitarian concern demonstrated the core of humanity's strength. On Veralia 7, Lyra and Talon guided the remaining colonists toward safe zones. Temporary shelters stabilized, energy shields activated, and alien debris was cleared by drones. Every life saved was a testament to the humans' unwavering commitment. They did not come to conquer, Lyra said softly. They came to save, and in doing so they have changed our world forever. Far in the void, scattered alien officers could only watch as their fleet crumbled. Panic, disbelief, and fear replaced arrogance. They had underestimated humans, and that mistake had cost them everything. They are relentless, one officer muttered. Their strategy, their unity. It is unlike anything we have seen. They fight with purpose, and nothing can stop them when they do. Admiral Kell allowed himself a rare smile. Let the galaxy hear this lesson. Humanity does not attack without reason, but when justice calls, our response is absolute. Precision, courage, and heart will always prevail. In orbit, human engineers began repairs and system checks. The fleet would not rest until every threat was neutralized and the colony secured. Every action taken demonstrated intelligence, foresight, and responsibility, hallmarks of humanity's strength. Lieutenant Sloan looked out at the stars, his voice quiet but proud. We answered their call. We saved lives, and we showed the galaxy what humans are capable of. Captain Voss nodded, and we will continue to do so. Wherever injustice or danger arises, humanity will respond. That is who we are. On Veralia 7, Lyra Vey allowed herself a rare moment of peace. The humans had not only defeated the alien armada, they had restored hope, given life back to a world that had almost been lost, and inspired courage among the colonists. They are amazing, she whispered, not just in power, but in heart. They fought for us because we needed them. That is true strength. The skies above Veralia 7 were calm for the first time in weeks. Human ships hovered protectively, ensuring that no alien remnants could return. The planet's survivors began to rebuild, carrying with them stories of bravery, strategy, and unwavering resolve. Admiral Kell addressed the fleet one final time. Today, humanity has shown its true power. We fight not for conquest, not for glory, but for life, justice, and protection. Let this be a warning to all. Humans answer calls for help. We will not be ignored. And those who threaten the helpless will face our wrath. Lieutenant Sloan and Captain Voss exchanged quiet smiles. They had done more than win a battle. They had secured lives, inspired hope, and reminded the galaxy why humanity should never be underestimated. Back on the planet, Lyra and Talon watched as the humans prepared to leave. Will they stay? Talon asked. Lyra shook her head, smiling softly. No, but their presence will stay with us forever. They showed us what courage and intelligence can achieve. They are humanity, and they answered our call when no one else would. As the human fleet began its return journey to Earth, the galaxy whispered of their deeds. Veralia 7 was safe, its people free, and the story of human bravery and ingenuity spread like wildfire. The aliens had learned a harsh lesson. Humanity fights not only with strength, but with heart, strategy, and unyielding resolve. And somewhere in the stars, another civilization sent a quiet transmission, hesitant but hopeful. They had seen humanity's wrath, but also their protection, their dedication, and their honor. The call for help had been answered, and the galaxy knew humanity would always answer again. Above Veralia 7, Lyra Vey looked at the departing fleet and whispered, "Thank you for everything." Far away, Admiral Kell watched the stars. Humanity had delivered its final strike, but the message had already spread. Humans fight for justice, they protect the helpless, and they are a force that cannot be underestimated. The galaxy had changed forever. Humanity's wrath had been unleashed, but it was a wrath guided by intelligence, courage, and an unshakable heart. The call for help had summoned humanity, and nothing would ever be the same again.